My mom really disliked my father after he left her. She felt abandoned. So she took it out on us kids, in a lot of different ways. And then she got involved with another guy, a gang member from Azusa. And that was just, the problems just snowballed from there. And then my grandmother kidnapped me one day, if that's what you want to call it. I was waiting for my bus. I just got off school. My mom was supposed to pick me up. My grandma came and said, "Get your butt in the car." And I stayed there for a year or two, and I liked it. So it wasn't really kidnapping. And my mom came and got me one day and took me up north for a few years, San Jose. Now that I look back at that, it wasn't because she loved me. She took me up there for the welfare. And eventually they both did heroin together.
Who?
My mom and my stepdad. My mom is named Sharon, and then Carlos was my stepdad. And I guess I was so little, I eventually called them Carlos. And they had kids together, and it was an abusive, mentally, physically, and sexually, family environment. And it was, me and my little brother was always nervous because of the upbringings that we had. We couldn't talk, we couldn't do things, we couldn't do normal things like go in the refrigerator, get out of bed like normal kids in the morning, watch cartoons. It was bad, and it kind of shaped me and molded me into the person I am today. And that's why I'm a wreck now, and I'm willing to do something about it. And I've learned to let go. I'm accepting who I am today. I understand I messed up because of what happened as a kid. And I stopped pointing the finger at my mom. I gotta accept what happened and just move on. Like kind of what I told you folks here. I forgive my mom for what she's done, but I don't forget. I don't know if you want to hear stories or details, like what.
If you want to share them. If you're
No, my life is an open book. I'll tell you anything and everything you want to hear. It's just there's so much in detail, and that's why I was saving it all for a book, but I need your help with that. It was just a bad environment living with my mom because she didn't raise us like kids. We were neglected. We don't know nothing about love. We don't know nothing about unity. We don't know nothing. Me and my brother, the person that was supposed to love us betrayed us. And it's sad because that's why I'm the person I am today. And I feel bad because I feel like I got cheated. And I have to be the fucked up person that I am. And I've hurt a lot of people because of the hate and anger that I have. And a lot of the people that I hurt, it was not their fault because of what my mom did. But I figured if she's gonna betray me, everybody else is too. So I grew up hating the world, God, and I just basically had a death wish. I didn't want to live. Up until recently, I wanted to die. And I guess it's tough being Mike, and in this big world, it's a big world out there. And I don't got rich parents or money, and then my upbringing didn't help. I basically didn't get taught values and how to work with my hands. So everything that I've ever done in life has been a challenge. Just going to the store, and I'm not retarded or anything. I just didn't learn people skills, and I don't like being around people. I've always been like a nervous wreck. And growing up, I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, stuff that kids dream about and they see on TV. And it's just because of my mental problems, I just always fought everything. So eventually I started drinking and doing drugs to numb the pain.
How old were you when you started?
15. And I guess it started out hanging out with the bad crowd, smoking cigarettes, cutting school, smoking pot. And eventually, the more you try, the more braver you get to try something else, something heavier, you know. And this went on for a period, and I guess I just started getting dependent on alcohol and drugs. And all the things that I was neglected with as a child, with the love and affection and everything else, I could do this with alcohol and drugs. You know, I could be or do whatever I wanted to, but it was just a dysfunctional facade life that I was living, you know. In the process, alcohol made me real violent. Drugs, depending on what it was, speed would keep me up while I was, because everywhere I went, I'd get kicked out because of my temper, so I would do different things, drugs and alcohol, depending on where I was going and what I was doing. And I just, my life just escalated to boys' homes, foster homes, being on the streets. Everywhere I'd go, I'd get kicked out of, and it was just, I was an emotional wreck.